Hi everyone, here's what's bothering me today. It is officially the winter solstice today. So why am I surrounded by Christmas things? This week is going to be all about Christmas and its interesting history and its modern applications in a lot of Western society, as well as how we get from a Middle Eastern religion to pine and snow and holly and all these lovely wintry northern hemisphere things. But first, this means we have to talk a bit about the winter solstice as a concept. Now, the winter solstice has been a thing in human history since forever. The most famous example of the importance to Neolithic humans is Stonehenge. Lesser known but equally impressive, if not more impressive in some ways, is Newgrange in Ireland. You also have numerous festivals that have happened and continue to be observed by very old cultures. So we know of some festivals that were celebrated by the Romans, and we also know of festivals still celebrated to this day by Hindus in India. And why would humans be so wrapped up in the cycle of the sun? And really, at the end of the day, it's the earliest form of calendar that humans could have that was reliable. And it's also a great way of telling when to plan for certain things. So if the solstice is the, shortest day and the longest night of the year, this kind of lets you know that you're in the middle of winter. So now is the time to knuckle down, ration your food. Certain animals would then need to be mated or slaughtered so as to ensure that there'd be enough food to go around in the harsh winter months. There was lots of religious and cultural significance behind a winter solstice. It was also just very pragmatic from your average cultural sense of, hey, so we know winter's coming now, so we'd better do these certain things that have historically helped us get through winter in greater numbers and in greater health and in greater safety. Which brings us to Christianity today. There are some allegations, it's a point of contention in a lot of circles, but of course there is some evidence to suggest that the reason why Christmas was actually set closer to the solstice rather than the actual date of Christ's birth, that had to do with, as many suspect, early conversion attempts in the Roman Empire, where they said, okay, well, fine, everyone can still be pagan, but look, we're also going to celebrate Jesus around this time, so just make Jesus a part of your festivities, at least early on. And there's other suggestions, such as it was a kind of a power move or a flex, if you will, against the established Roman pagan cults. But at the end of the day, the key point is that a winter solstice has been important to many cultures around the world. And we'll get a little more into the history of this in tomorrow's video. But I just felt it was important to talk about the winter solstice as a concept, because it's not something that's typically thought of anymore these days, because humanity has advanced so far beyond the point of needing any kind of solar or stellar calendar to keep track of things like livestock, and the nature of our technology and cultures and capitalism has meant that we don't really need that anymore, because at any point in time we could just go out and get things. That is how fundamentally different it is to be a human today than it was even half a millennia ago. Hell, even a century ago. These are big changes that have been made, and while the overall human significance of a winter solstice event may continue to wither, I think it's important to remember a big part of where we come from as a species and how that can still impact us up into the present day. But the fact that not a lot of people think about that or consider that is definitely what's bothering me today.